Imagine a boat gliding effortlessly across the surface of a serene lake, moving without disturbing the water or leaving any trace of its passage. Now picture grazing animals moving across a landscape in much the same way, floating lightly on the land. This metaphor beautifully illustrates the potential of well-managed grazing, which, contrary to popular belief, can enhance rather than deplete the land. While critics often claim that grazing leads to soil degradation and environmental harm, this perspective overlooks the crucial role that properly managed grazing plays in maintaining healthy ecosystems. Much like ships that glide over water without consuming it, grazing animals interact with the land in ways that improve soil health and biodiversity. Let's explore how this misunderstanding of grazing could hinder environmental progress and why recognizing the benefits of well-managed grazing is essential. One of the biggest myths surrounding grazing animals is that they use up the land, leaving it barren and degraded. This misconception often arises from instances of overgrazing, where too many animals are confined to a single area for too long, preventing plants from recovering. However, when managed correctly, grazing animals don't deplete the land at all. Instead, they behave like ships floating on water, moving lightly across the landscape, stimulating plant growth and enriching the soil. In well-managed grazing systems, animals help prevent overgrowth by keeping fast-growing grasses in check, which allows other plant species to thrive. Without grazing, many grasslands would become overgrown, smothering smaller plants and reducing biodiversity. Moreover, as animals graze, they remove older plant material, encouraging fresh, new growth. This regrowth strengthens plant roots and helps maintain a healthy balance of plant life. By mimicking the natural movements of wild herbivores through rotational grazing, where animals are moved regularly from one area to another, we allow plants to recover and thrive between grazing periods. This process supports the land rather than depleting it. Far from being destructive, grazing animals can actually help improve soil health and promote carbon sequestration. When animals graze, their manure acts as a natural fertilizer, adding organic matter to the soil and enriching it with essential nutrients. This process improves the soil structure, making it better at retaining moisture and resisting erosion. Healthy soils rich in organic matter are capable of storing large amounts of carbon. As grazing animals help build this organic matter through their manure and grazing patterns, they contribute to the land's ability to absorb and store carbon, which helps mitigate climate change. Furthermore, the hoof action of grazing animals naturally tills the soil, breaking up compacted areas and allowing water and nutrients to penetrate more deeply. This encourages healthy root systems in plants, which in turn helps sequester more carbon. In contrast, many crop farming systems, especially those reliant on monoculture, can degrade soil over time by stripping it of nutrients and requiring heavy use of synthetic fertilizers and pesticides. By recognizing the positive impact of grazing, we can embrace it as part of a sustainable solution for improving soil health and addressing climate change. While grazing animals can help restore and maintain land, the alternative approach, relying heavily on monoculture crops, poses serious environmental risks. Monoculture farming is the practice of growing a single crop over vast areas of land year after year. This method may be efficient in terms of yield, but it comes at a high cost to the environment. Growing the same crop repeatedly depletes the soil of specific nutrients, leading to soil depletion over time. This forces farmers to use large amounts of synthetic fertilizers to keep yields high, which can pollute waterways and disrupt ecosystems. Monoculture fields provide little habitat for wildlife, reducing plant and animal biodiversity, which weakens ecosystems and makes them more vulnerable to pests and disease. Without a diverse plant ecosystem to protect them, monoculture crops become more susceptible to pests, leading to a heavy reliance on pesticides. These chemicals can harm pollinators, contaminate water supplies, and create resistant pest species. By favoring monoculture farming as a solution to environmental problems, we risk damaging the very ecosystems we seek to protect. Grazing animals, on the other hand, encourage biodiversity, promote healthy soils, and contribute to the long-term sustainability of the land. The key to unlocking the environmental benefits of grazing lies in proper management. When grazing is done thoughtfully, it has the potential to restore ecosystems, increase biodiversity, and reduce the need for synthetic inputs like fertilizers and pesticides. Sustainable grazing practices such as rotational grazing involve moving animals between different pastures to prevent overgrazing and give plants time to recover, mirroring the natural movement of wild herbivores and maintaining the health of both the soil and the plants. Holistic management takes into account the entire ecosystem, ensuring that the right number of animals are grazed in the right areas at the right times, helping to maintain a balance between animal needs and land health. Additionally, multi-species grazing, which involves grazing different species of animals together, can improve land health by allowing different plant species to be grazed at different heights. This encourages biodiversity and reduces the risk of overgrazing. By adopting these methods, we can ensure that grazing remains a valuable tool for restoring land, building healthy soils, and maintaining vibrant ecosystems. When it comes to sustainability, the choice between relying on monoculture crops or well-managed grazing becomes clear. While monoculture crops may seem like an efficient way to feed a growing population, their long-term impact on the environment is harmful. They deplete the soil, reduce biodiversity, and require large amounts of chemical inputs. In contrast, well-managed grazing mimics natural ecosystems, supports carbon sequestration, and enhances biodiversity. Grazing animals float across the land without consuming it, helping to regenerate the environment while providing a sustainable food source. If we want to move toward truly sustainable agriculture, we must avoid falling into the floating fallacy, the idea that grazing animals are inherently harmful. By embracing the environmental benefits of grazing, we can make meaningful progress toward a more sustainable and resilient future. The misconception that grazing animals are destructive to the land is a dangerous one. In reality, well-managed grazing systems are like ships floating on water. Grazing animals interact lightly with the land, leaving it healthier and more resilient. By ignoring the benefits of grazing and over-relying on monoculture crops, we risk causing greater harm to the environment. To make real progress in protecting the planet, we need to recognize the role that properly managed grazing can play in sustaining ecosystems, improving soil health, and combating climate change. By understanding and avoiding the floating fallacy, we can ensure that grazing animals become part of the solution to our environmental challenges, not the problem.